Today is January 14th. I am still a losing day trader, and yet I just got goosebumps at the possibilities. I have a friend who's on the East Coast who now has a dual income. He has a job that pays him well, and then he does day trading, which also pays him well on a consistent basis. I told him that now the world is his oyster. He doesn't have to ever worry about money ever again. Ever. What kind of feeling is that? If I work for somebody else, I feel like I could be fired at any moment. Because human beings have this particular thing. And at one point, I could be in favor, and the other, I could be out of favor. That is something that I simply am unable to, on a genetic level, able to essentially work around. However, now that I'm safely within Jesus Christ, I believe, and I live that type of a life, I truly do. So now, what I plan to do is, since I'm not consistently profitable at this moment, I thought I'd go to work today, wash dishes. I'll be up. It's 3:08. I'll start work at 4. I'm going to purchase a oyster. There is a fried oyster that's on the menu. So for me, I guess I need to start somewhere, right? So I realized that the difference between, although he has a day job, and he has family that he maintains, that's an amazing achievement by itself. And then being able to put in the hours to become consistently profitable, that's another intriguing factor. So there must be some sort of inquisitive persona that allows him to be successful. And for me, I've already disclosed the fact that I had to repeat third grade because I lacked the level of competency to speak the English language. And therefore, I was set to third grade after I finished third grade in South Korea. So here I am. And then it also took me 5 years to graduate from college, the university. The reason is there was an essay. I was able to write engineering reports, but I was unable to essentially write an essay. Essay is the last part to so I must have like failed several times, and so it was like delayed like a semester or two, I think, just for the essay. Scout's honor, telling the truth. So they just let me pass, I think, after the third try. And it is a foretelling a path that I would eventually go on, because I think I'm not sure what happened, but it seems to me that my path to becoming an engineer really was not something that I would thoroughly enjoy. I have to say that when I was an engineer, I would do something. It became repetitive. It became extremely repetitive, and the only thing that changed was I was doing things that required my body to do things faster. Of course, I could have, if I was a bit smarter, I would have used the software to enhance the way that I develop things, which made it easier for me to take care of things. Which now in hindsight, that's what I should have done. And the other part is to develop the further studies, invest in myself to make it easier, far easier each and every day. just using my undergraduate skill set to do repetitive things on a daily basis was tiresome. And my personal life suffered some devastatingly. And I can see my little kids who are my daughter was a year and a half and my son was about 2.5, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm going through a divorce, and every time I looked at them, I'd be like devastated. There's nothing I can do about what things happen. In hindsight, there's really nothing I can do because what I could do was way beyond my comprehension. There was nothing humanly possible from my perspective of doing anything that could have altered the path that I was about to go on. It was inevitable. So now here I am, true to the reality of my current situation, and I'm far, far behind. And Al Brooks, a man who became a ophthalmologist who performed surgery on eyes, also told a similar story that he has after doing some surgeries, it became repetitive for him. Now, for him, it took about 10 years to become massively successful in day trading. It took him 10 years. Now, he's a medical doctor. I barely graduated from college. So I'm thinking to myself, now, here I am. I'm like, last year, it was a implosion into my financial account. And now, what am I doing? I've already started the year negative. I'm barely staying afloat. And I'm trying to figure out what to do, what to do, what to do. And I'm thinking to myself, this place might be here another 10 years. Maybe, I'm thinking, maybe 20 years. By that time, I'll be about 74 years old. And I'll be walking in here with the same car that's about 30 years old. That car will not last 30 years. In about 25, in about 20, so this is in about 22 years, I believe in most states they will ban internal combustion engines. And so at that time, I have to figure something out. Now, my Social Security should kick in at age 65 or somewhere around there, or 69. Sometime around there, my Social Security will kick in. That means I have to wash dishes from now for about 16 years, 15 to 16 years. Now, they don't, I think it's more it's more welcoming of younger individuals, just like engineering. They don't want a grumpy old man who's aching to wake up and doing things and not talking in a manner that is conducive to the level of their awareness. Obviously, 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds talk on a completely different level. They are the new generation. They are the inner layer of the onion. And I am the outer layer, the flaking off part of the onions. And whatever they talk about and whatever I talk about is disjointed, separated by multi-layers of generations. So here I am. Here I am, finally separating myself from the dysfunction, which I call dysfunction, that I have lived through, to now break free, to truly be within Jesus Christ. And people, yesterday there's a coworker of mine. He's older than I am, and he also washes dishes and does prep work too. And out of the kindness of him, he's essentially volunteering. He doesn't even have to do that, but he's volunteering to help out with the restaurant. And so he took out a bag of peanuts and said, "You want some nuts?" I said, those nuts are for you. So I need to redouble. I need to essentially right now, what I'm thinking is that knowledge is more important than perfect execution right now. Right now is important for me to acquire the skill set. So it means that sleep is good. Sleep is good, but just enough for me to develop and acquire as much skill set as possible. Right now, what I'm looking is I heard from YouTube that novice day traders look for setups. Okay, that's what I heard from a professional day trader. That's what they say. Novice novice day traders spend most of their time finding setups. Now I'm scratching my head. I'm scratching my head. Why isn't that true for professional day traders too? Why? Is it because they've already acquired it? Maybe that's why. Maybe they have already acquired those things. And why not spend more time trying to acquire more setups, even if they're professional day traders? Because if I'm a professional day trader, then I'm looking for a particular setup that will provide the A plus 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 setup. I'm thinking as a professional day trader, that's what I would be doing. So I'm thinking in terms of and oh well, it's 3:18. I gotta go wash dishes. Okay, more later.